Welcome to EGS episodes. Today we're gonna have World of Tanks. Yes. World of Tanks is an MMO or just an online game. There's 5 different types of tanks. We got the artillery, the scout, the heavy and the medium tank, and the tank destroyer. And all of them have different tasks to do in the battlefield. Like this example here, we got a scout, a classic scout. It's a covenant, and that they're very fast and have a good radio that can show the other ones to spot the enemies. That's their main mission. Then we got the medium tank. There you could say a classic tank. The thing to do in the battlefield is just mostly to attack and defend. They mostly have the normal infantry role. And then we got the heavy tanks, and the heavy tanks, well, they're beasts. They can take plenty of hits and they do a lot of damage, but they're very slow and sometimes they're very weak against tank destroyers. And then we got the SPGs, or you could say the artillery. They're more a supportive role, and they're mostly for just being a long way back and to shoot down enemies from a distance. And then we got the tank destroyers, and the name explains it. They're just to destroy the tanks, and they're very good at it. If you see a tank destroyer on the battlefield, you have to back away. And the best effective thing against tank destroyers is, I think, a tank destroyer also, because they're very good against heavy tanks. All the different types have a mark or a symbol that shows what they are, so you can easily recognize them on the battlefield. How you get new tanks and different classes is quite simple. That you start with tier 1 tanks. I don't have one here, but you start with a tier 1, and when you play battles you get experience for what you do, and with that experience you can research different stuff for your tank to upgrade it, or later on you can buy a new tank. You start with tier 1 and you go all the way up to tier 10, so there's a lot of things to do, and there's plenty of tanks to get. You can see from all these different countries all these different tanks you can get, so there's a lot of stuff to do, and all the tanks have a really good detail and they're very well made, and there's so many tanks that I had never heard of, but all of them are really good made, and that's something that gives the game a good feel. Now when we get to the real thing of the game, of course, the battles. But there's plenty of maps, and the maps are in a decent good size, and it is destructive environment. So that gives it a more realistic feel to it, that you can drive over cars and everything that's in your way. And it shows the real mind of the tanks that they actually can destroy. And of course, when you meet the enemies spotted by the scouts, because that's their job to do, the real action starts. In these battles, you're 30 people, so there's 15 against 15. They have made it realistic, so where you get hit with the tank, it does hit there. So if you get hit in your tracks, you will go much slower, or even if you're more unlucky, you will stop. The track will get destroyed and you can't move. And sometimes you get hit in your ammo, so your whole tank will explode, and that's a lucky hit for the enemy, but unlucky for you. And then if they get you in your gas tank, usually in the back of your tank, you'll start burning, and that will give you a lot of damage. There's a lot of different modes of gameplay, but the most classical one is you have to capture the base or just kill all of your enemies, and that's how you win. And that's pretty much it about the game. It's simple, but it's fun. And for people that like tanks, it's a really good game for it, because there's different types of tanks, and almost all of the tanks that have been made, but only the tanks that have been made around World War II and maybe in the Cold War, but it's pretty much that. So it's not any new tanks or anything like that, so don't expect that. What are those sounds? Looks like some kind of... Looks like tank tracks or something. This is getting weird. Whoa! It's a tank! I think the tank is gone. No. Wait. World of Warplanes. I guess you saved me this time. But World of Warships, you haven't saved me yet. And that's the review. And I'll see you on the battlefield.